Good morning, everybody. This is Katie with NLFX Professional, and I have Dawson High here today. I am super excited to talk to you, Dawson. So I know a ton of people know who you are in the industry already. So why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? How did you get to where you are now?
Well, first off, my name is Dawson High from St. Louis. High class DJs, 15 years old, doing the thing. So my back we'll come to the backstory. So my dad has been a DJ for 27, 28 plus years. So DJing's always been kind of like in the family. So my dad also works full time for UPS, managing airlines and stuff like that. So when he would go to work for his day job, I would run downstairs and play with his studio and kind of do the DJ things. And he still doesn't know about it until if he's watching live right now. So
Say hi,
um, yeah,
Dad.
hi. I'm gonna I'm definitely gonna get talked to about that one after this, but. Um, yeah, so I started just kind of in the basement as a bedroom DJ, and then started at the age of 10, coming out and kind of helping him set up and kind of hang out with him, and now taking over, hopefully the business completely soon. So, yeah, it's been a whirlwind of 5 plus years.
So your dad has been a huge influence in your life.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. And has
Yeah.
he kind of, do you guys like sit down and like practice together, or is that something that you just took on by yourself? How did you learn? Did you teach yourself, or is that something your
So
dad taught you?
So my dad kind of gave me like the basics. And then I kind of had a studio in my room that I would spend 3, 4, 5 hours a day just doing different things and trying different things and scratching and mixing and all kinds of stuff. So to a degree, yes, he's taught me the basics, and then I've kind of progressed to where I am now.
And what would you say your style is, DJ wise?
So I am very East Coast. I play a lot of club style music, a lot of bass, a lot of house to my weddings, where nobody else in St. Louis does that. So it kind of has pushed my brand to where I am not only 15 years old, but doing different than everybody else. So I play a lot of remixes and redrums, and I like to keep everything upbeat all night long.
So Dawson, do you focus mainly on high school or weddings? What is your main focus in marketing right now?
So I primarily do weddings. I do about 60 to 70 weddings a year. I only have 3 to 4 high schools. I'm not. That's a tough market to get in, because you have to make sure the district is okay with the music you play, and then you also have to please the kids at the same time. So I try as much to stay away from that market as possible, but I primarily do weddings and private events.
So my question for you then is, at 15 years old, what are some things that you're doing to reassure your clients that, yeah, I'm 15, but I know what I'm doing, man?
Yeah, so it all comes down to promo material and showing the client what your value is. So I have, and I've kind of been like redesigning my website during quarantine as well. So I have a website and then like press that I can show them in different mixes, videos, and everything like that. Kind of reassure them that um, I'm not just a 15-year-old kid that comes and hooks up his laptop and calls himself a DJ. So, and it's kind of where my clients have either seen me at events or heard about me and heard all the great things that I do. So it's been um, easier to kind of sell what I do.
And then your dad, Chris, no, not Chris. What's your dad's name? Is that
Chris.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought
Yep.
so.
Yep.
Okay. I was like, I think so.
Yep.
So it seems like, how did you kind of get out from under his shadow with your own business? Do you talk about that a lot?
Uh, yes and no. I have built so I kind of have like two different brands, right? So I have the Dawson High brand, which is kind of like my market, my website, my press photos, and everything like that. And then I also run under High Class DJs. So I almost think of my dad's company as almost like a booking agent. So he gets all these leads and tries to sell us, and then I can also sell myself. So I got an inquiry last night through my personal website and kind of sold that myself. But then we're also getting company inquiries that I can do events there as well.
Perfect. So another question I have for you, Dawson, is, being in the industry at such a young age, what are some things that maybe you're doing that the more veteran DJs aren't really thinking of? Do you have any advice, like social media wise?
Yeah, so social media is huge, especially in the day and age where Facebook and Instagram are everything. I can tell you right now, right before I was jumping on, I was throwing social media links on Instagram and doing Instagram stuff. So keeping your platforms fresh and updated is tremendously beneficial. Um, to Because all these clients, before they book you, they're going to stalk you on social media. So if you don't have a decent social media presence, then somebody who does, they're going to lean more towards them. So prior to me coming on the team in 2015, we didn't have a huge social media presence. So I'm like, okay, this is what we need to do. We need to come and basically rebrand everything, get it updated website, start pushing out social media, and it's been a whirlwind for us since then.
So if you could pick, I don't know, maybe 3 things brand wise, social media wise for people to focus on, what are the things that they should be posting?
So try to post as much as often as possible, and do quality content. So it's more about quality than quantity. So I rather see is a couple see you have quality content than you posting every other hour, right? So I post at least once a week, and on our company page, I post every other day. Now, what's been huge for us is hiring an assistant to come work for my events and take promo photos for us. So promo photos of the bride coming back on the decks and mixing it up and stuff like that, to where I have close to 3 terabytes of promo photos that I can use on our social media. So if you have the budget in social media is really what you want to grow as a business, I recommend getting promo photos because photographers they don't just give their photos out, right? So you have to build those relationships with photographers to get the photos. So it's easier just to get the photos yourself.
Kieran asks, do you guys want me to share you on my music page? Sure, we'd love it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Perfect. So another question I have for you, Dawson, is shoot, I forgot already. It's just real casual conversation, right?
Yeah,
it is Friday.
sure.
I'm looking forward to the weekend. Do you guys have anything going on right now, event wise, or are you just focusing mainly on the back end of stuff?
So we are, as far as St. Louis, is on the tail end of COVID in our quarantine, which is huge. I'm so ready to get back at it. So next week starts a full schedule for us. So we have 3 DJs booked out for the rest of the year, starting next week. So I don't have a weekend off for the rest of the year. As far as prior to this, we've been working on updating our contracts because we realize there's a lot of things that we've missed that could help us with everything. So we've been working on that, updating websites and getting everything kind of refreshed, and stuff that we pushed off for off season that we didn't get to. We started to do that now. So as of next week, we are full back in business.
Awesome. I bet you're like super stoked about it, right? So excited.
Yeah, I'm ready. Yep.
So Dawson, where do you see yourself in like 5 years, 10 years? What do you see, your brand bringing?
So that's a good question. So in 5 to 10 years, I plan on fully taking over the business, to where I'm the CEO and kind of guy in charge. and to add more talent onto our team. So right now we have, I think there's a total of 5 of us on the team, which keeps us all busy, but I would like to have more and grow a team. So that's kind of my plan, is to take over and kind of rebrand everything again, and then add more talent.
So being a multi-op, from what I understand, is kind of a huge task to take on.
It is.
So
Yep.
do you have anything in mind that you plan on implementing, especially bringing in new talent? Because a lot of people find it hard to keep people on the payroll per se.
Yep. So training is huge for us. So when you sign on as a new talent, you go through 6 months to a year of training before you you even get on our squad per se. So training is huge for us, and then also taking care of your employees. So we do an annual dinner party every quarter, and treat our guys to a dinner or a night out or something like that. Companies that just hand their paychecks to them on Monday morning when they come in, I'm really about building relationships with my team.
So guys, if you have questions, make sure you write them in the comment. I am monitoring them as we speak. It looks like Chris Johnson says your dad gets bumped. Hi, Dad. So my next question for you, Dawson, is like we chatted before this, and I told my son about you because he just turned 10, and he's like, dude, Mom, I want to be him. So what advice would you have for parents who have children that want to get into the industry?
So the industry is hard to get into. I'm not denying that. It was hard for me to get into. Support them with their dreams, because it can be something. So I give you an example. I had a controller that was just sitting in our warehouse, and I didn't use. So I saw this kid's mom post on Facebook saying, "Hey, my kid wants to get a DJ controller and kind of get into the DJ business for Christmas. Do I know any DJs that kind of can help me out with this?" And I reached out and said, "Hey, I have this controller that's sitting in my warehouse that I would love to gift to your son and kind of help him get into the industry." So I've been doing weekly Zoom calls with him and kind of having fun with him and kind of showing him the way. So definitely support your kids if they want to get into it, and start small. Don't go like get some CDJs and stuff like that. And so start with like an incy bincy controller, get an old laptop or a laptop that's not really used in your house, and kind of download DJ software and just let them play around. Some kids are super into it, and some kids it's just a phase. So it's a fine line of knowing how to get them in.
So Dawson, do you use an actual controller?
Yes. So I use custom DJ booths. So I have a couple different DJ booth options that I use. I play on turntables in an S9, or I play on, when I travel to do events, I do CDJs in an S9. But when I am at my private events, I use controllers. So I either use the DDJ RZ or the DDJ 1000.
May I ask why don't you use your turntables at a wedding? Is there a reason that you choose not to?
So the turntables have just got added onto my arsenal as of Christmas. My parents got them for me. So we haven't really figured out how to incorporate them yet. We plan on building another DJ booth to put them in. But we planned on that until COVID hit. So we kind of have to reassess what we're going to do.
Awesome. So the next question I have for you, Dawson, is, at your age, what does success mean to you? How will you know, like, yeah, I made it?
So I am a big believer on never settle. So what would be amazing to me would be playing on the Super Bowl or playing for an NFL team or something like that. But I never want to settle. I always want to do better. So if I play for an NFL team, okay, now I want to play for this NFL team to get to the Super Bowl, so then I can play the Super Bowl. So always figuring out what's next in the path and never settle.
So I know that your dad has had a huge influence on you. Is there anybody else that you have, that's kind of helped you learn, helped you grow in the industry, or even outside the industry?
Yes. So as far as influencers, Jason Jani has been a huge help, kind of leading the way into the bigger market per se. Kristen Wilson is a good friend of mine and mentor. Nate Nelson just jumped on. He's a good friend of mine and a mentor. I actually played an event with him in December. So the big name people as well, just kind of connecting via social media and building relationships, and also a couple local guys. Chris Johnson, which is on here, has been a huge help to me. Jimmy Hussey is another St. Louis guy that prior to 2018, my mixing wasn't very up to par per se with phrasing and different stuff like that. So Jimmy and I kind of collaborated, and he kind of took me back to the basics and kind of built my mixing back up. So can't thank all of them enough for helping me be where I'm at today.
That's so awesome. And just since I've been with NLFX now for like 5 years, and it's just the last, I think, year, maybe 2 years, where I've really seen your brand kind of all over the place, which I think is awesome because like you kind of came out of nowhere and you like took it by storm.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Let's see here. Let's see. Get at it. Kieran sent his message, his page through Messenger. Okay, cool. So Dawson, do you have any advice right now for, just DJs in general? What can baby goat? Is that an inside joke?
So GOAT is greatest of all time. That's kind of what that stands for. So okay. Nate calls me that all the time. So
nice.
Yep.
So advice, any advice? I know we touched on what people can be doing on social media, updating their websites. I know some people have been using like streaming. Are you streaming anything? Are you doing anything streaming, incorporating that into your upcoming weddings?
Yes. So prior to or during quarantine, we invested in a bunch of streaming material and got a couple things from Ben and NFLX, and you guys have been a great help. So we plan on incorporating streaming into events that you can host a virtual party, and we can kind of DJ and do everything like that. So we are in the works of building a studio that we can put turntables in and everything like that, and cameras and lights to start to stream.
So are you how are you going to incorporate that into a wedding? Are you going to stream the wedding live, or how do you plan on doing that?
So we haven't really got that far yet, is because all of our events are kind of opening up. So we definitely did have a conversation of, okay, if a couple wants to incorporate that, how are we going to do that? So it's all what the couple wants. If they want to stream parts of their wedding and ceremony and everything like that, sure, we have the capabilities to do that. But it's a lot more work to stream events than it actually is to do events. So we're not really marketing that per se.
Perfect. So do you have any best advice that you've gotten over your career so far that you can think of? Any, like, from anyone? It can be personal, professional, just any really solid advice.
So I've got much advice from different people that just because of my age, but a couple things that, and one thing that kind of stuck to me, and I still believe in this day, and I teach other people, is always to stay humble and stay grounded. Never get a big enough ego to where saying like, okay, I'm the coolest person in this room. It's okay, I am I'm good at what I do. Okay, let's showcase that kind of thing. So always be humble and stay grounded.
That is really awesome, especially from, I hate to keep bringing up your age, but like, especially from someone at your age to actually recognize that, I think that is just amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely been a change of mindset.
Awesome. So if you could have a theme song and not be humble every time you walked into a room, what would it be?
Oh, I don't know. Probably The Man by God, what's his name? I can't think of it. I'll put the name on the comments because I'm gonna have to figure it out now.
Perfect.
But yeah.
We have a few more minutes left, guys. So if you have any questions for myself or Dawson, write them in the comments. I am.
There it is.
Yeah, Nate says.
Nate's got it.
All right.
There it is.
He keeps calling you baby goat. It's so
I know. He's awesome.
So before I end the webcast, I do have a final question that I ask everybody. My son, who is 10, comes up with this question each week. And this week it is, if you had a robot for one day, what would you make it do?
Everything. Just
everything.
Yep. Make me sit down and just watch it do everything for me and have a kind of like a day off, but still working kind of thing.
Nice. And then I did want to touch on social media aspects. I know a lot of, veterans in the industry, Facebook is the oldest known, not known, but I think it was MySpace. I don't know. But it's like the platform that everybody is a go-to. Is there anything else that people should be marketing on? I know Instagram is huge, but what about like TikTok? And there are so many now, I can't keep up.
Yep. So Instagram, and Nate is a big believer in TikTok. He keeps pressuring me to get on TikTok, and I haven't yet. But Nate can give you more information on TikTok. But I hear TikTok is huge. So I market on Instagram, and then I have my Instagram tagged or linked into my Facebook. So when I post on Instagram, it automatically posts on Facebook. So instead of posting in 2 spots, I post in 1, and it goes to both. So trying to figure out what platforms kind of work in unison to where it's not is hard for you to post on social media, because that's what I hear all the time is it's time consuming. You have to come up with content and captions and everything on Nate. No, I'm not on TikTok yet. I promise I'll get on TikTok. But trying to figure out platforms that work in unison to where it's efficient to post on social media.
Nate, maybe I should have you on here and we'll talk one day all about TikTok.
Yep. Nate's the man on TikTok.
I don't have TikTok either, so I'm with you on that one.
Okay.
I know you're not the only one. I don't have it either. I have no idea. I've heard of it. I see videos that are posted on Facebook from TikTok, but I actually don't have TikTok. And then
my little brother takes care of TikTok for the entire family. He's on TikTok all the time. I'm like, oh, that's cool. He just keeps texting me stuff. So I have the TikTok app. I just haven't used it yet.
Perfect, guys. Again, thank you, Dawson, for joining me. We are at our time.
Absolutely.
If you guys have any questions, just please write them in the comments. We will be monitoring them afterwards. Dawson has some really good insight and some really awesome ideas, marketing-wise and just business-wise. So make sure you ask if you have them. And again, I want to thank you, Dawson, for joining me.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure.
And today is Friday, so I won't be back until Monday. Yay!
Yep. It's the weekend.
Right. Yep. I'll see you guys later.
See ya.